Hello out there. If you're watching this, you must be really bored. Maybe. I'm Debbie Davis. If you haven't been to one of my lives before, welcome. It's not that exciting. I don't have my green screen up, so I'm going to look like a floating head for a while, but that's kind of fun, right? Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Back to work on a Monday. Who doesn't love a good Monday at work, right? So some kind of ground rules, I guess. I'll answer some of the questions. If you have any specific questions, kind of drop them in the chat there. But I won't answer questions about cases that I'm handling in Michigan, and I typically won't answer questions about Michigan cases or judges or give opinions on them too. So if you're here for that, sorry to disappoint, but I do have my ethical rules and what I want to do for my practice. So anyway, today I was watching some criminal dockets while I was doing my things, just to kind of, see what other people are up to. Secret Squirrel, I'm doing well, thank you. But some things have come out, some cases in Michigan that I thought were kind of interesting that the law nerd people might be caring about. So with data masters, if you're looking at DUI cases, there was a Court of Appeals case that came out and said the data master logs were allowed to come in without having to have any sort of foundation. So you didn't have to call the person that did the checks on them. But the Supreme Court reversed that and made it a little more difficult than just simply saying, here's the logs and this is what they say. But it did allow us to use them as business records. So if you're familiar with some of the hearsay objections that people have, they'll say hearsay, there's not a foundation for this. You can't just use something that someone else said out of court. But if it's a non-testimonial item, then there are some exceptions that you can use it for. So for people that practice in DUIs or people that have DUI cases, for operating while intoxicated, where a data master or a PBT type of situation, the data master logs can now be used. It just is some jockeying, I guess I'll say. You can't just simply submit it and, hey, it's a business record, it comes in. All right. Do I have private clients in addition to being a prosecutor? Yeah, yes, I do. In Michigan and in our county specifically, part of the deal was when I left private practice that I would still be able to continue doing some outside private clients. It's mostly just with estate planning and land transactions, that sort of thing. So I do those. I mean, prosecution doesn't pay great, so it helps supplement some of the income. Let's see. So I do, here and there. I try not to do it too much because it's a lot. And my kids are like, you're not home. But I mean, I'm home a lot, so I can't really complain about that. Plenty of time for me to clean the barn for them since they don't seem to like to do that as much. So some of the things that other people have been talking about, I saw Mike Gravlin on Law Talk with Mike. If you haven't been over there, please do. He's fun. He did a case with Kim Blandino. So if any of you are familiar with that, I'm sure probably most of you are familiar with that. But if you're not, a sovereign citizen out in Las Vegas, and I was listening to his interview with Mr. Blandino the other day, and I found it really interesting because Mr. Blandino is very focused on his appeal, and he thinks that by some way of appealing this is going to create new case law that is akin to Miranda or something like that, something of that nature, something about wanting to represent himself. But I'm telling you, proper representation is generally not the way to go. If you are in trouble for criminal law or if you have a civil dispute, 9 times out of 10, you are going to need legal representation, or at least to go consult with an attorney that is familiar with that area of the law and familiar with the jurisdiction that you're in. Otherwise, you're going to be at a huge disadvantage. Oh, thank you, Squirrel, for dropping Mike's stuff in there. That is helpful. So if you haven't seen Law Talk with Mike, go on over there and sub. Okay, now I want to say, let's see. I was watching this Cheatham criminal doc. Let me see if I can share this. See if he's still going. He's still on. Let's see if we can watch this together, guys. Share screen. I honestly cannot believe that they let live chat stay on with these. But let's see what they got going on here. This was
Well, you're here to be arraigned on a charge of aggravated child abuse, neglect, and endangerment, or attempted aggravated child abuse, neglect, and endangerment, initiation of manufacturing methamphetamine, and probation violation, and the right to an attorney. You want a lawyer to represent you? Yes, sir.
Smart choice.
Excellent. Probation violation. You're not guilty, sir.
So let's talk about this one for a minute. When you get arrested for a crime, right? I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a minute. So he was getting arraigned, and some people think that the arraignment is kind of worthless, right? Like, you're telling me what I'm charged with. Why are we here? But the arraignment is an important part of it. You want to know what you're being charged with, under what statute, so that you can determine how to proceed. Some people get confused as to why anyone would plead not guilty when they're clearly guilty of something. Well, there's some reason to that as well, right? If you just go in and plead guilty, then there is no trial, there is no opportunity to have legal representation, and you just are going to get sentenced on whatever you've been charged with. So that gentleman there down in Tennessee just got arraigned on child abuse, methamphetamine manufacturing, and a probation violation. So you can tell when you're watching arraignments like that, you're going to see a not guilty, and he smartly asked for an attorney, which is a good idea. Most people are going to get an attorney that is court appointed because it's pretty easy to meet the qualifications for that. But if you don't get a court-appointed attorney, they have determined then that you have the financial ability to get your own, and you really should use that money to get your own attorney. All right. Have I seen the funny video? The kitten filter. Yes, that's one of the originals and best ones that I've seen is the I am not a cat. Yeah, the sound quality has not been good on Judge Cheatham's, and this was Judge David Wolf actually on this one, the Cheatham Circuit Court. But yes, if you are looking for some channels to watch, those are interesting ones that have the, just like as the court goes on, real life cases. You did assault versus you assaulted. I don't know if there's really a reason for that, Tom. It's just probably the way it's always been done in kind of the archaic language. Judge Wolf has some horrendous trials. Oh, Nick, I'm glad you've been watching this, Judge, for a while. Okay. Say PC. Okay, so court-appointed attorneys are not free per se, right? Okay, number one, like your tax dollars are paying for them. Number two, in most jurisdictions, especially where we are, you are going to be assessed a fee for the use of the court-appointed attorney, but typically it's like $150 for a misdemeanor or civil infraction case, and for a felony, it goes upwards of $500. I'm not sure what it's at currently. Judges been waiving those occasionally because the cases that I handle up there, the people typically are going to prison. So when they go to prison, he will sometimes waive that court-appointed attorney fee. All right. Any questions? I'm going to scroll up for a second and see. I didn't really prepare for this today, guys. Sorry. I just thought, well, I have a meeting at 6, and, you know, if I can do this real quick before I leave, maybe that would be fun. Blandino is delusional. I mean, sometimes, okay, so going back to Blandino, what I don't understand is the fact that he dodged a bullet by not being incarcerated. And not to say that he would necessarily go to the Department of Corrections, like prison, for what he did. I mean, you could, obviously, but he dodged going to jail at all, and he has this person he's caring for, so it doesn't make sense to me to risk that person for some higher, you know, think that you're doing something for the greater good here. I don't think he's going to prevail, and if he doesn't try to do it in the proper way, meaning use that court-appointed appeals attorney to file things, it's going to end up very badly for him. Okay, let me scroll down. You guys are talking to each other down here. That's what gives Blandino's life meaning at. Joel, I guess I don't know how to say that. My fur babies, they're doing well, except the baby rabbits didn't make it. The mother, it was her first time, and she's probably not cut out for it. So, but other than that, the goats are doing really well. I know I need to get a goat cam up. We still are not totally convinced about the internet offerings that have come down our road. So we'll see if they actually show up or not. Okay, let me see. I was going to do something else that I was watching this weekend. Let me see if I can find it. Been watching, of course, Artie's Corporate Fiction. If you haven't seen him, hop on over there. Let's see. I had saved. My kids love watching police videos with me, which I feel like you kind of get in trouble for using those, so I try not to use them too much. And also people that don't know how to drive boats. Also a very interesting subset for them. I also like watching the ones where it's animals that need human help because, I'm an animal lover. And also there was an animal needing human help in my own barn last night because Ray, one of the little female goats, got her head stuck in the pen. Her head's too big to be sticking through the slats anymore, but she does it anyway. And she stuck it through both the hay feeder, which is metal, and the wooden slats of the gate. So that went really well for her, and I had to unscrew the boards and then use the kids to help get her out of there. So yay, that was fun. Got her out. She's safe. Okay, let me see if I can find. I had an interesting soft sit lady that I'd never seen before, and she just kept pushing the line and trying to go into this, it looked like a jail maybe. I thought I saved it, but apparently I didn't. If you ever do have videos that you're interested in having commentary on by me or whatever, just let me know. Send me a link. That way I have something. Oh my God, Artie's lawn mowing stream. Yeah, so speaking of which, I was mowing the lawn yesterday at my own house, and I thought I should just live stream this, but I'm glad I didn't because I had a bit of a little small accident. I'm still alive, but I was mowing up by our big pine trees out front, and I really thought that the pine tree branch was going to come back and smack me in the face or like jerk my head back. Well, there's a metal bar, on the mower, and I hit my own head on the metal bar and gave myself a pretty large goose egg. So if I die of a brain bleed, guys, know that I really cared about having a nice lawn, okay? But the swelling has gone down, so I think I'm okay. All right, let me see. Oh my God, Artie's. We should watch Artie's together, but I won't do that to him. I'll be nice. See what uploads we've got. Looks like I really did think I saved it. I was also watching an interesting one from A&E that was about a foster child that was basically talked into going along and murdering her foster mother, who worked for the Department of Family and Children's Services, because the husband and she were having an affair. Mike, what are you doing in here, you sneaky sneak? So that was an interesting one, though they have a lot of crime scene photos in that, which can be very off-putting for people. So if you are going to watch that A&E one, brace yourself. I know, Alethea, Tim George suggested that I wear a helmet. Probably not the worst idea. Okay. I know, Kim, it's no joke, seriously. But I haven't had any dizziness, and I've had a concussion or two in my life, and it didn't feel like that. So at least got that going for me. Real World Police and Code Blue Cam. We've had some good ones there. Actually, I thought I saved a Code Blue Cam one to watch. Let me see. Never know what you're going to find on there. And it's funny, my husband and kids apparently have my YouTube account on the TV downstairs because I get on here and there's all these hunting shows and things like that are mixed in. Like, that's not what I had going on. So, I mean, they're messing up my whole, whatever it's called, my algorithm, getting me things that I want to watch, but I don't want to watch hunting shows. Okay, let me see. Code Blue Cam. hopefully they don't have a problem with me using their stuff. And I suppose I should probably ask, but permission first or forgiveness later, right? Okay. Struggle Bus. Sorry if you're watching this and you're super bored right now. But, oh my. I don't want to use one with a kid in it, so we're going to skip over that one. Clearly, I did not save what I thought I was saving, or I'm not in the right area. Downloads or watch laters. I also have stuff about, watching or changing things in my washing machine because I like to do my own fix-it stuff. Not really great at it, though. No, I don't want to watch my own videos. That's not what I wanted. Oh, my liked videos. Maybe that's what I can do. Ooh, there's some from running from the police that I don't like really having those on because it gets a little intense. Man, I have a lot of videos on here. Forget. It's come a long way, guys. Not really, because I'm still not really prepared for this, so I should know better. Watch later. Not that. History. Okay, if I watch my history of things that I've watched, it's really ridiculous since it's all hunting stuff. But I didn't really watch that. We can tell what my husband watches downstairs now, can't we? I did watch the DUI guy. Watch or listen to it after I, have my head trauma. About the governor that got in a DUI accident, but it really wasn't a DUI accident, I guess. I mean, they claimed that he didn't have anything in his system. That was kind of interesting, though. Listening to how some dude handles DUIs was into that. Maybe I'm not going to find this one, but I do have a surprise. Look at that.
Hello.
Hey.
I didn't know you sent me a link. I'm like, why didn't you send me a link?
Oh, I emailed you a link, didn't I? Yeah. How'd you get in here if I didn't give you a link?
Am I echoing?
No. I mean, am I echoing?
On June 24th.
Boop. Hold on. I'm going to share this. We can watch this together because I watched.
All right. No, it was me. I was watching you on another tab.
Oh. Stalker.
How was the Bear Lake Festivus?
It was really fun, actually. They had this scavenger hunt, so the locals would know, go down to this Saddle Up grocery store and tell me how much gas is.
I've been to the Saddle Up.
Okay, well, we were not from there, so it was really confusing. Like, I don't know where these places are, and so it was not probably the best idea. But they were great sports, and they let our kids have the special water bottle that you get when you turn in your sheet, even though we only did about half of them.
The Saddle Up is solid. It's a gas station / grocery store / literally like a horse and saddle joint.
Well, I wonder, I didn't go in. My husband and our friend ran in to grab a few things. And I'm like, why are they taking so long? Like, what is the deal? But they came out all happy and they found what they were looking for. So
it's a real Northern Michigan sort of a deal there.
Totally. So Northern Michigan stop. And, Bear Lake was really pretty. It looked like it was really windy. I don't know if it's always super windy and choppy out there, but it looked like if you were going to ski or something, it would be a little dangerous, like choppy. But
yeah, see, not you're talking about Bear Lake itself proper. Mm-hmm. You didn't like go over to the big lake.
We did not go over to the big lake. We had a brisket that was on the Traeger smoking back at the condo, and so we couldn't get too far away from it, which kind of screwed us over. But it was really good brisket, so a Wagyu brisket. It was one of the Father's Day gifts I got Tad.
I mean, you can usually ski on that. It's usually calm. It's just a small lake.
Oh, that's funny that you call that a small lake, because I mean, for around here we have lots of small lakes and then a couple big lakes, but they're like maybe that big. So, but we're used to having Lake Michigan right next to it. Probably makes it look that way. All right, Mike, we're gonna watch a real short video and then we're gonna chat about it. How about that?
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm getting better at this share thing, right? Here we go. And shout out to bodycam. I love you guys.
Sergeant James with the Hiawassee Police Department conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle after observing it driving recklessly in Hiawassee, Georgia.
Make it big. With the cursor, go to the right. There you go.
What's your hurry? You're very recklessly from the city all the way here, man. In and out of traffic, not using the turn signal. Man, I watched you. It took me this long to catch up to you.
I'm sorry.
You were 70 plus.
I didn't think I was that bad.
I checked you at 65.
I'm sorry.
What's your hurry?
I gotta get my medication.
You gonna try to kill people over medication?
No, well, it helps with my anxiety.
If that car in front of you would have slammed on brakes, you would have caused a wreck right here.
It's like your dad lecturing you, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it makes the skin. Sorry,
What's
Dad.
the speed limit there?
I think he says it in a minute.
Medication is it?
I think it's like 45.
Okay, I don't think that medicine will make you drive the way you were driving.
No, because it started to wear off. I was expecting to be home all day.
You starting to wear off?
Yeah.
How many times a day you take it?
I take one at 9 o'clock.
So I'm gonna stop this for a second. When I first started watching this, I thought for sure this is gonna be one of those where it's a sheriff's deputy that got pulled over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let's just keep watching.
I'm just not getting the context. He's chewing them out, but like, how far
he's
over
chewing
the
'em
speed limit are we?
Oh, he was like, I think he said he was like, I was on like 70, and I think it was like a 45. So
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty fast.
Okay,
and
okay,
so
that's well over.
Yeah,
I was just wondering, like 70 to like a 65 would be like, why are you even pulling me over? You know?
Well, I mean, 70 to 65. Yeah, no, this is like a side street, like
Okay.
type of thing. Okay, so he gets pulled over, and his reasoning is his medication is wearing off. He thought he'd be home by now, so he's gonna go take it. Right? For anxiety and bipolar. He's like, I don't think that makes you drive like that.
That's the best thing to say when you get pulled over for driving too fast on a suburban side street. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I need more medication.
Yeah, or like, I don't know, like, oh, thank you, Mortimer Dirk, for the microphone. You pick which one. Oh, so sweet. Okay, so we'll continue. Here we go.
And then one in the evening.
Well, the way you were driving, well, maybe you don't need to be driving at all.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you take your medication with you?
Because I expected to be home.
Hang tight.
So, I mean, that's a side street, man. Definitely not a highway.
After Sergeant James handed the driver his traffic citation, Sheriff Ken Henderson with the Towns County Sheriff's Office suddenly intervened with the traffic stop.
What?
I didn't write you for reckless driving or any of that. I wrote you for speed, just like I told you, 65 and a 45. I did put what you say and what I observed, okay? Your court date is August 8th, 2022 at the Hiawassee City Hall, okay? Do you have any questions?
Sheriff Henderson approached the driver and asked him whether his traffic infraction occurred inside or outside the city. Sheriff Henderson and Sergeant James then get into an argument and threaten to arrest one another.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. You would sign right here.
So, I mean, can you imagine being this guy who just pled his case about his anxiety medication and bipolar wearing off, and then you have, in a moment, these two police officers just go and at it right outside your window? That would increase my anxiety, I
We
think.
got a little jurisdictional pissing match here.
Well, but why? It makes me so curious.
Not admission of guilt, you said I explained it to you.
And Dad went from like lecturing to nice, like pretty solid.
Yeah.
All right, watch coming through town like that, man. Yeah, traffic's heavy, okay?
You guys show up.
All right, be careful. Sir, got a question. Come on, inside the city or out here? Just right here. Okay. Go pull the video out on that road. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you. Yeah, I'll arrest you right now. Do it, buddy. We're going to do it. Charges. Do it.
Oh, Lord.
Do it, Owen. Do it. There's cameras at Valero, and there's cameras at Napa that see you pulled out. Shut your fucking mouth.
Oh, I have.
I love it.
Do it.
Being a guy is awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
This poor guy's like trying to keep us cool, but I'm going to get demonetized for this
11 Alive
one.
investigates. They obtained an audio recording of Sheriff Henderson talking about Hiawassee police officers. In the recording, the sheriff allegedly tells his deputies not to associate with Hiawassee officers because they're enemies of the sheriff's office. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is currently investigating the incident between the two agencies.
So,
wow.
I mean,
well, there's a backstory.
Is that like?
There's a backstory we don't know.
For
Somebody
sure.
did something to somebody.
I want to know though. So people don't understand sometimes, like in our county, even we have our village and sometimes township police officers, and they really can only write tickets in their jurisdiction. And I feel like this is like your Kim Blandino argument coming out here, right? Like his municipal court wasn't able to hear his case. Whereas our county, like the sheriff, the gentleman that came in all fired up, his officers are able to write tickets anywhere they want in the county. So whether it's in the village or city limits or not. So for whatever reason, and it could be a monetary reason for these, because if you write it under a village or city ordinance, the city or village gets a cut of the ticket. Whereas if you write it under a state ordinance, like
I smell maybe only if it's a pattern. I smell bad blood and prior irritation here.
But I mean,
this incident isn't in a vacuum. Somebody did something. Somebody, whatever.
Right, and the fact that the actual sheriff pulls up there, not just the sheriff's deputy, but the sheriff himself. I mean, for us, it's an elected official. I cannot fathom an elected official knowing that he's wearing a body cam, right? Like, you got to know that the officer is wearing a body cam, or at least has an MVS and is recording audio. To act like that, there must be something pretty significant that they are in a match over. So
well, and usually law enforcement gets along, but not always.
Well,
it's just a matter of personalities and stuff. But
well, true, and you find a lot of law enforcement have a very aggressive personality, right? They're not usually like the happy-go-lucky ones. They're out there enforcing law, chasing people down. So it was one that really caught my eye, and I'd like to see how this Georgia Bureau of Investigations comes out on it. I'm going to have to
that was it was fun, and it was refreshing for me because I just see this. I've done a bunch of videos from that channel too. And I think, usually the interesting thing is the defendant or the suspect. Yeah. The driver. And here he's whatever, he's marginal. And no, it's the blow up is between the police officers. And that's a nice twist.
Yeah. And can you imagine like a citizen walking up behind that officer like that? Like, dude's carrying a gun and has his back turned at an official traffic stop. Bad idea to approach somebody like on their back shoulder. And I don't know at what point he noticed that he was there, but you could like see his head like pop up in the reflection of the vehicle. But note to self and all of you watching, please do not walk up on a traffic stop with the officer.
And the guy who got the ticket, I mean, the first thing I'd do is say, he didn't have jurisdiction. I wasn't in the city.
Right. No, he wasn't. I wasn't in the city. And I'd be like, am I free to go yet? Like,
right.
While they're fighting each other, like, I don't want to be a witness.
I would call the sheriff as a witness.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Because like just to make it like nasty and uncomfortable for everybody involved.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you've made yourself a witness by showing up here. So here's your subpoena.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. Poor Ken. He's gonna regret. He's gonna have regrets about that one.
Do you guys have? I don't know. In St. Joseph County, do you have any like interstates going through there, like 94 or something like that, or?
We don't. Obviously, there's like US 131, which goes like Michigan, and that the thing is with that though, sometimes we do get people and like I-94 goes across from like Detroit to Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people will hop off and like go down 131 and cut across and maybe go like on the Indiana toll road because I think they figured that so many people get pulled over on 94 doing the things that they're doing that it's maybe a little bit longer but maybe a bit safer for them. So but yeah, other than that, we just have like our highways.
So you don't deal with state troopers very much?
No, we do actually. We have a couple state troopers that are always in our jurisdiction. So we have a lot of MSP cases.
I mean, that's pretty clear. Like if you're on the interstate, it's the state trooper. They have jurisdiction. That's clear. Then when you get into the county, you're right. They have the whole county, and then the village or whatever, the municipalities, whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
But they change really fast.
Yeah. So MSP can go basically anywhere. And go, I want to say it's like Tri-County area, like the ones that we have. Go like several counties around us at any given.
Yeah, but they don't. I mean, they're not like bored and looking for work. Like they patrol the highways,
Talk about that. Like my MSP guys are going to watch this, and I'm like, wait a second here. No,
yeah, don't be volunteering us.
Right. Exactly. Well, and it depends. Like, so when a call goes into 911 to our dispatch center, they determine where's the call coming from, and sometimes it's like, well, not just where the call's coming from, but where did the incident happen? So then. Okay, well, it's coming from the township, but they don't have their own department, but it actually happened like in the city of Sturgis. So they really have to dispatch a city of Sturgis officer to go out and take the complaint. So, but sometimes it's MSP because, again, they can go anywhere. So fun times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Well, I have to go to my fair meeting now. So I successfully, you wasted like 25 minutes of people's time or something like that.
Yeah, your fair meeting?
Yeah, the fair board meets like it's supposed to be the first Monday, but because it was the 4th, now it's the second Monday. So, yeah. And it's hard.
Is my buddy Keith Stickley going to be there? He likes that kind of thing.
No, I mean, he could come and just be a fun person there, but I doubt it. I'll talk with Mikey. I know. Sorry, Mike.
I was in the chat. I didn't have the link. I'm like, this happened before too. I don't know why I didn't figure it out. But when you told me that you were contemplating a helmet to mow the lawn, I'm like, oh please, I will mock you senseless. I want video of that. It will never end.
I'm telling you. So when I first whacked my head, I was like, oh God, I hope nobody saw that, right? Like, okay, nobody's driving by, and I felt to make sure there's no blood. I'm like, okay, there's no blood. And I was driving a little further. I'm like, man, it still hurts. I like touched it again. It was like my pinky. I'm like, okay, a little knot there. About 5 minutes later, I went to brush my hair back, and it was, I kid you not, like a golf ball sticking out of the side of my head. I'm like, oh God, I hope this isn't gonna like be here tomorrow. And
I've done similar things, but it's funny, and I just the concept of it reminds me of you saw our boy Rob with his what was it, Stack Daddy or whatever, that they got trending on Twitter.
Okay, so what was that was trending? Like,
if you dare put on a mowing helmet, I'm going to get Mower Helmet trending on Twitter in honor of you. I will have to do it. Hashtag Mower Helmet.
Listen, there is some validity to do this because I do the edging parts, right? You have like a giant mower. No, I'm serious.
This is getting worse and you don't even know it.
You have low-hanging branches, okay? And they can put back. I have scratched myself. I've been like whacked in the back of the head before. A helmet is actually not a terrible idea.
Not a terrible idea.
Like a full face one though, because sometimes those branches like smack you in the face.
All right, go to your fair meetings. Squeeze Mikey for me.
I will. I have to tell you, his ears are getting bigger, but in that weird shape. So I really need to get him on. So
that's awesome.
Maybe I'll do a quick live stream tonight just so you can see how he's.
All right, were those the nails you were getting done there?
Yeah.
That your friend did? Nice work. I like that. She did different colors and the whole deal.
She has a good job. It's time to change them though. I need to call her. And it's not celebrating America anymore. So
it's a good thing I'm not a girl.
I know.
There's so many reasons.
The's a lot of work.
It really is. More than I'm willing to do.
Would Daddy's
I saw that, and then I finally that came about on Emily D. Baker. That they were working blue. I could not believe it. Go watch the backstory on that one.
Okay, I'm gonna have to because it's not on his channel. So that's what's.
I can see why it's not on his channel.
Oh God!
It was on Emily D. Baker.
It's on Emily D. Baker. Okay, I need to write this down. All right, Emily D. Baker. I can remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, besides I had injury yesterday.
Yeah.
I can remember things. But
it's
anyway,
all good.
Judy agrees that I need a helmet. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate you coming, and I will check in with you later.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Always fun to have Mike here to tease me like the big brother that I already have, right? Speaking of which, I went on vacation just for a few days with my older sister and older brother and their significant others and families, and it was a riot. If you get the opportunity to go on those little trips with your family, please do it, because the memories that you make and the teasing like when we were kids, it makes it a lot of fun. So anyway, thank you guys for all the super chats. Really sweet of you. And I will try to get Mikey and I on maybe a little bit later this evening after my meeting and after I try to sneak over and watch the last bit of Harper's last softball game. So again, thank you guys for always hanging in here and sticking around with me. I am okay, Walter. I promise. You have to watch. Maybe I didn't watch the rest of it. I hit my own head. Like, the tree didn't hit me. I jerked my head back and hit my own head on the metal bar on the mower. So only I can do that, I think. So, all right, guys, enjoy. Have a great night, and I will catch you guys all soon.